It's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. All that work for today. What are we gonna use? Bona. Bona Classic Seal is the first layer that goes on this floor. We've got some utensils, application devices here. This goes on my T-bar, which is leaning up against the wall there. I've also got these little guys here. They're real nice for swirling right up into corners. You can get these at the depot for $2 or something like that. Has anybody never seen how this is done before? Raise your hand. Okay. First step is you have to wash both of these. You want to get any loose fuzz off of them, any chemicals, anything that will mess with the finish. I always wash these off beforehand. This is the T-bar. Kind of swivels like this. You're going to slide your cover on. I'll put links in the description for all this stuff. You know, a few years ago, you couldn't buy this stuff. The only people that could buy it were people who were in the hardwood floor industry. Not just a little bit. 80% of your annual business has to be hardwood floors in order to buy just the Bona Seal and these T-bar applicators. You can't buy this stuff anywhere locally. You have to order it. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start here and work my way back and forth, down and back through here. I'll get a nice pull and a plow into there, up through here, and I'll be, oh, this will be interesting. And I'll be heading on out the door. Got my dry duck coat on. It's cold outside because I can't come back in. Gotta give it a good shake. We're gonna pour out a stripe of it. 4 to 6 inches wide of a stripe of this. This has 500 to 600 square feet coverage, so I won't use all of this. Your applicator. Always, if you set it up against the wall, when you get down to the end, sometimes you got to blot it off because it's too heavy. Always do it in line. Never do it this way, or else that will permanently be there. Always blot your applicator off in line with the boards and the grain. I got my booties on. Don't want any sock lint or sweat, anything to come through. I always kind of fade it out at the end, so you don't have so much down there at the end. So loud. You might just say all this off. Don't get crazy. Don't worry too much. Beautiful. Hey, it's pretty amazing. What's on? Look at it. I haven't even tried yet. Haven't even worked this. And look how closely that matches. You can see this little shadow right there. That actually might be me. It's still sloppy. It hasn't even been screened yet. I'll give you a better shot. See if I can get the shine of that seal coat that overlapped. But those who are wondering, is this going to match? Is the color going to match? The color's going to match. As you can see, the entire dining room is emptied. I will be refinishing this floor on the last coat. Not this coat. So I'm going to start with the buffing. I will bring the buffer in here a little bit, kind of feather this out. Do what I did yesterday. You got to learn your patterns on the seal coat. I got a little hung up over there. Well, it was a little awkward getting in and out of the door. Use your seal coat as how you're going to learn to back your way out. I'm going to give you a quick close-up. I want to show you just how forgiving this seal coat is. If you get a little bit that's thicker in one area than another area, if you keep working it, keep trying to crawl onto it, you can kind of mess it up. So I'm going to bring it down real close and show you what it looks like, what the seal coat looks like before it gets screened. All right, we're coming down close here. And it is kind of rough. Did raise the grain, which it's supposed to do. It's a sanding sealer. Cat hair. Oh yeah. This is, that one, I got that one out. If you have pets, these people have a cat, somehow that hair will end up in here. No matter how much you vacuum and how much you plastic the area off, a cat hair will find its way in here. All right. This isn't really working that good. Here, I think my batteries are going dead. Anyways, I wanted you to see that it evaporates, it dries, and any of those ripples, well, any of those puddles seem to just completely disappear once it dries. So don't get too upset if you see a little bit of a puddle. We're not talking a pond, I'm talking a little bit of a puddle. I'm going to put the fan on, blowing out. Why am I choosing 100 grits? That's what the directions say. They give you a range, 80 to 100 or 80 to 120 for a certain cut. So yeah, 100 grits after the sealer. I'm going to go over the directions and the actual product up close and personal with you as soon as I'm done buffing. Next is a dry microfiber cloth. And my hands are super dry. It's almost like Velcro. Oh yeah. Commercial grade, Bona, Traffic HD, the best of the best of the best, sir. 2 parts, one of these per one of these. The dining room and the kitchen is 400 square feet. This application, I will not be finishing the dining room, so I'm sticking to just the kitchen. I will not finish this entire jug, especially since the sealer coat's been on. It's going to go on a lot smoother, so I probably will only use half of this.
Shake.
Pour all this into here, and then one thing I forgot to mention on the seal coat is you have to put in your filter. This filter pops right down in there. There's some stuff floating around in this. It's not bad stuff, but it will come out if you don't have your filter on.
Hey! Send out the sandwich! Bologna, ham, and peanut butter.
Ooh, that's it. Now you gotta let this sit. Once you shake it up, you gotta let it sit 5 to 10 minutes before you start pouring it on the floor. Okay, this is it. Now don't get too anxious. It's okay. Just stay cool. Remember, go slow, especially on your turns. When you come down to the end, don't whip it around or else that stuff will sling out across the floor, and it may sling out onto an area that you've already made a pass, and you don't want that. You want to shake. Put this over here. Oh, that was perfect turn. Wow, that was perfect. I'm stretching it, and I ran out. It's not something you want to do. It wasn't too bad. Now look all the way here, so I have to squeeze past there. I'm going to get up again, make sure I get a little bit. Move down here. Finish pull.
Watch out down there! Woo!
Woo! That's awesome. A little more care on the transition, on this application. Yeah, hang on there, so. I'm going to pull it. So let's pull it. I'll push it. Now you can see how wet that is. This is definitely not going to be that glossy. This is a satin finish. This is the first coat of the top coat. And I'm going to bring you down here, get up close and personal with the flashlight. I want to show you just how forgiving this is. We'll talk more about what I mean by forgiving. Why don't you come on down? Okay, got you guys on the floor. Oh, wow. Look how dusty that is. When you turn the flashlight off, you don't see any of that. So that's why I get the flashlight out, run it across the floor. Now, when you put your coat on, your first coat on, you're going to see areas that are a little thicker than others. And they're going to dry slower than others. And as you're watching it, and you're going to be like, oh gosh, it looks horrible. It looks like a disaster. Once it's all dried out, it looks perfect. Just trying to find a little puddle. I'm looking way down at the end there, trying to get the sheen on it. So even, well, obviously, as I said before, you don't want a puddle. But if you have a little bit of a thicker area, don't fret. Don't try to go back over it, because this stuff dries fast, very fast. You can walk on this within 2.5 hours. 3 hours, it's ready to recoat. But it's perfect. It's a perfect coat. I'm still trying to find an imperfection to show you. Look at that. Look how it's reflecting off of the floor. All right, well, I can't find one. I was thinking down here at the end, underneath these cabinets here, these future cabinets where I was doing a turn, there might be a thick area where you can see that it's noticeably thicker. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's what I'm trying to show you, is that it's very forgiving once it's all dried. Which is real good. Now I'm going to show you where my seam is. Right here. Probably, kind of hard to see it. Alright, from this angle here, I need a laser pointer. Right here is where I was sanding. This here has been screened but not top coated, so that's why this is a little bit hazier. But as far as the transition goes, right, oh, there we go, right there. See that little line there? And there's a little bubble, not like a bubble, but a little drop right there. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Now in this area over here, I feathered it much. Was that a hair stuck in there? Oh yeah, we'll have to get that out. What the heck is that thing? Cat hair. No, that's not part of it. Pet hair is crazy. Even this one right here was feathered. Right there was feathered nicely. Keep in mind, the difference in the color is because this part up here had been screened and not coated. We're going to coat everything today. This here is the existing hardwood. I just got on my hands and knees and cleaned all of this floor. I am going to buff with a 120 grit screen this room and that room. If you guys are wondering, of course now it's not squeaking. Where the heck did it go? It was right here. There it is. Yeah, right there. I'm going to have a video on this floor squeak. It's been asked hundreds of times. Are you going to show how you fix that floor squeak? Got one here. Some here. And I think might be another one around here. Now you're never going to fix well, you could. If you were determined, you could. These old houses, they did not glue down the subfloor. It's actually Diagon Alley planks, not sheets of plywood. It's Diagon Alley planks that are underneath here. If you look right down here, you can see what I'm talking about. This here is the subfloor, and it's all just hammer and nail. A hammer, not even a nail gun. No glue, so you're gonna have squeaks. So now everything has been screened. The new area has not cured yet. So I didn't need to hit this up a lot. that still has a chemical reaction going on right now. It's still curing. So when the next coat goes on, it will bond chemically with that first coat. This floor here, this is 100% cured, so you need to sand it good. You need to screen it and abrade it. There are clear instructions on what I'm talking about. Read the directions for yourself. It's very easy to follow. A lot of time has passed. A lot of hand sanding, a lot of vacuuming in different directions. Time for the microfiber towel. I have it slightly damp for this area here, and then I'll go over this area with the dry one. I just need to make sure that this is 100% cleaned and tacked off. What I'm doing is making sure I have 100% coverage out there. Getting tricky. I got a little bit in front of the fridge. I got to hit up, even though a cabinet I think is going right over the top of it. Whew. It's intense. I'm running low too. Oh, here's painful. Oh, yes. It's like that. It's right there. Yes. Okay, hold it. Hold on. Blow it. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Well, get more. That's it. That's it. We're going up. Let's see. No. You gotta get down. I'm trying to reach. You gotta reach. You can't go back. And do a little touch. Okay, do that for you. Okay. Turn on to. Whoa. Hello. Oh God. Fight out. You're down last. Last one. You're down. Beyonce's gonna have to wait. There it is. You're going to have to come back on Monday. You have to come back on Monday and we will see the 100% dried. See how glossy that is? Now this is a satin finish. When this dries, it'll be a nice satin finish. I'll even show you how the seam worked. Going up from this floor to that floor. It's going to match perfect. Just looking at it right now, it's identical. It'll be the same sheen. I got it right on a nice edge of a board. I don't have any fans. I don't have anything moving through here. I want this to self-level and go slow. Slow cure. Slow dry time. Slowing it down as much as possible. This Bona Traffic HD is an extremely low VOC. There is no smell at all. The sealer had a much higher VOC.